Good morning. It is Saturday, the 16th of October, and that means it's Free RPG Day. We've not had a Free RPG Day for a couple of years because of the pandemic. So if you've got a local friendly gaming shop, then I suggest you get along there today and check out some of the titles they've got in stock. Do grab what you want, grab something that you like, make a purchase, because I do recommend you support your friendly local gaming shop. And if you haven't got a friendly local gaming shop, support a gaming shop that does mail order, because they always do good service. They're great people. I use a couple and they're really good. And there are several up and down the country. Now, I'm going to be doing a series of videos about what I brought back from Free RPG Day, and the first, of course, is this. So it's Star Trek Adventures, the role-playing game. It's from Modiphius Entertainment, and this is the quick start for the game. Doesn't come with cat's tail, I'm afraid, although this garden does. So let's have a look inside. Now, what we've got on the back, got a full list of what's available for Star Trek, and this is sort of like the 7th iteration of a Star Trek role-playing game. It's been out for a few years and has done quite well. Lots of good supplements and there's a couple of good collections of adventures, and we have an adventure and the rules in this quick start. So what have we got here? So immediately we're into what do you need to play. Nice and simple. Basically, it's not only tells you, but it shows you, and I think that's a great touch. You've got a list of the. Yeah, you're not helping, Cat. Okay. He's going to wander off. So let me carry on. So you've got a list of the things what you need, and then it actually shows you as well. So you've got the dice and the counters you're going to need for your momentum and your character sheet and so on, and that's about it. Gives you explanation of background, and then how you play. Now the Star Trek Adventures uses the 2D20 system, which is quite simple. In this iteration anyway, the 2D20 system comes in various different grades of complexity, and Star Trek tends to be at the lower end. You have an attribute like control or daring, fitness, insight, presence and so on, or reason, and then discipline, command, con, security, engineering, science and medicine, and you add essentially an attribute and a discipline together. Okay, so you typically to get a value between sort of like 9 and 13 or something like that, and you roll 2d20, 20-sided dice, and you attempt to roll underneath that value. If you do, you get successes. If you want extra successes, you bring a focus into play. Now, focus is more like a skill, so astrophysics, navigation, EVA, and so on, virology, warp field dynamics. Okay. All the sort of things you would see in a Star Trek character could have, and if you roll under, if you roll under the basically the value of the discipline, and you have an associated focus, then you score 2 successes. And the more successes you score, the better you do, and then you can spend it on momentum. The excess goes to momentum, and that generates, and you can spend that to do interesting things with your traits and so on. So we have a complete explanation of that with how momentum works, and I think basically think of momentum as luck points. In many cases, there's lots of things you can do with momentum, and then there's lots of traits you can trigger as well. Then we get into conflict with quick start rules, and conflict is designed to be fairly quick. It's designed to be quick and easy. And all this is covered in a few pages. So we've got an example here also of combat momentum spends, types of attacks, types of damage is all here, and it's illustrated with a nice couple of scenes of combat. So basically beam weapons, phasers, blasters, and then earlier on basically you've got a brawl, Now, as as you can see from the images, this is all set during the period of essentially sort of next generation stroke DS9. Okay, so it's that period. Although if you took this, you could adapt it to the other periods which the Star Trek Adventures covers, which are Enterprise and the original series. And then we get into the actual mission, which is a away mission, Signals. Let me see. Signals is a mission that serves as a great introduction to Star Trek Adventures. The mission is meant to be played by a game master and 3 to 6 players, and it's been designed to demonstrate the core mechanics of the game. So essentially, the referee the GM needs to be familiar with the mission itself and the rules as presented in this quick start. So what we've got, here's the background. Captain's log. We've received a message from the render station that a runabout called the Susquehanna has gone missing in the Carina Nebula, deep within the Shackled Expanse. The Susquehanna was investigating an unusual alien signal that originated from the nebula when all contact was lost. We've been ordered to enter the nebula, find the runabout, and determine the origin and cause of the alien signal. Starfleet is also advised that Romulan and Ferengi ships have been sighted in the region, so we should exercise caution since they may have detected the alien signal as well. So that sets you up everything with an adventure, a mission, and you have 6 characters to play. So you've got a first officer, basically a con officer. And these are all, clearly presented. The only thing they lack is background. Chief of Security, Chief Engineer, Science Officer, and Medic. So we've got a range of different character types and races. So it's not all humans. We have a Vulcan, Denobulan, a Trill, an Andorran, and a Bajoran. So good mix of races represented in the Star Trek background, especially about the time of DS9. Then we get to the adventure itself, and the team basically goes away on a runabout or a shuttle, and they will essentially encounter. Basically they'll encounter a Romulan vessel, investigate the comm badges of the lost team, discover what the Romulans are actually doing in at the location, and then find the alien signal site itself. So you've got another great thing about this is actually written into it, you've got a couple of nice pieces of artwork that illustrate what's happening. So you've got an alien site on a different faraway world, and you've got basically there's signs of the Romulan involvement, which a bit of action there in the piece, and then to counter that, you also have essentially a nice bit of investigation there from the ops. Basically from someone from ops, and lastly you've got the Romulan strike back. So yeah, that's everything you really kind of need, and for the most part most players will have access to what they need to play this, because obviously D20s dice are ubiquitous. But a printing or photocopying, because this obviously be available in PDF, and these in general, the great thing about this is that whereas all this content is on the black background, and sometimes not always the easiest to read because it's on that black background, then certainly the character sheets are a lot easier because they're essentially on white, and that's much easier on your ink cartridge. So I think obviously this should give you a good taste of what the game is like, probably provide perhaps a good session's worth of play just to see what it's like. And the other thing about it is, alternatively, the GM could take this, drop it into her own campaign, have the player characters using their own characters, and that would work too. And it also ties into the Shackled Expanse, which is Modiphius' own essentially playground or setting for the Star Trek adventures. Basically, it's an difficult, unknown area of space. Where the Romulans and the Klingons have an interest as well, and it does that whole mixture of exploration, interaction, and sort of like conflict, and it sort of I suppose in a sense it sort of echoes the earlier Triangle kind of campaign setting that was for the FASA version of Star Trek from the 80s. But anyway, I think this one is worth picking up if you're interested in Star Trek and action and sort of like, good piece of science fiction, and especially if you like Star Trek. But that's the Star Trek Adventures, the role-playing game, the Quick Start, made available for free RPG Day from Modiphius Entertainment. Do go check this out. It will be available as a PDF soon. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll be back again with another look from another release for Free RPG Day. I'm going to try and do as many videos of these as I can, and I will be following these up with full reviews. In the meantime, again, thanks for watching. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.